Something tells me that didn't come out of the playbook.
Not in our playbook, anyway. Something tells me this fight ain't over.
To be able to react quickly, you must remove unnecessary variables from the equation. Emotion for one, as well as the fear of consequence. Good reaction time and instinct can't be bought. That won't stop me from trying.
I don't know how you do things in the private sector, but we do not use people as bait here.
This is a game, princess, and I just want it for you.
Keep her back! Steady down. Are you off or not? Back off!
Why なぜいつもここに来るんですか？フルーツならデリバリーもできます。お金もあるんですし。
金持ちはただ待っていると？私をそんな風に見ていたのか。
いえ、でもここは人が多すぎます。
お前は信頼できる子だが、少し肩の力を抜いたらどうだ。でないと大切なものを見落としてしまうぞ。この果物とかね。これを一つ。ヒロ、どうした？震えている。
セテ。
お。
ここに。
私の家に忍び込むなんて自殺願望でもあるの？
久しぶり、由美子。八幡さんが。
ええ。話は聞いたわ。
見覚えは？手伝った。
Tango in my sights.
Now it's time for new belt Nitro Signal, and he fell for it. He's looking to give coverage for his teammate, right? Can he lock it down? Yes, he can, but the swing's in. Has to find it. No time! Pun has to swing in. Geordie's pulled up. He's lost the round.
Camera in position!
Get behind me!
Tango located!
Hostiles in sight!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Roccat LPL Pro Rainbow Six Season 2 tournament. My name is Proto, and joining me, as always, the man, the myth, Spud. We're here for another great playday.
Yeah, it's been a little bit of time since we last talked, but hey, I'm really glad to be back, really glad to be able to dive right back into some of the best Rainbow Six Siege action we have to offer.
And for anyone who is unfamiliar with how we do things around here, this tournament is broken down. 7 teams come in to a best of 1 round robin format for 7 weeks. They then go into a best of 3 playoffs, the top 4 that is, and then the top 2 go into a best of 5 finals. The winner of said finals will walk away with a lovely chunk of our 3,000 AUD prize pool of $1,200 for that first place prize.
Yeah, that's right. It's no small change. This is 3,000 real live dollars, cold hard cash. So you know these teams are going to be putting on the best show they can to make that money theirs.
Speaking of a good show, Spud, last week, well, unfortunately we didn't have a broadcast, but the week prior to that we did, and some highlights from that broadcast. You were there, I unfortunately wasn't. Give us the rundown. What are we expecting from this week based on what we saw last week?
Look, you really missed out on quite a show from Not Quite Sure. I mean, I did expect it to be closer, but there were just some insane moments right here on your screens. President, a 1v5 ace. And then, of course, Karma, you know, he always has to get an ace on Villa, it seems. he managed to get another one from himself, including that nice flick on someone who really should have been paying better attention. But he's not done yet. 4v2, 4v1, and he gets that quad and an ace. Amazing play as always.
I mean, Karma on Villa has been absolutely insane in the past. We saw it, I believe, 4 weeks ago. You know, very similar performance, set the kill record to death ratio, a few flawless rounds for his team. I mean, Phoenix as well, a very similar style player. Gets aggressive, finds those kills for T7, and hopefully can continue that in tonight's matchups as well.
Yeah, we will be seeing him in action. Get a Grip as well, but unfortunately for Get a Grip last week, they weren't quite able to close it out. Team 7 did eventually go on to win 7-4, but Get a Grip put on a really good fight, and I definitely look forward to seeing their match tonight. But Kraken versus F2, that was an amazing game as well. F2 actually managing to do quite a lot of damage. I know we always talk about them being the underdogs, but hey, they put up a fight against Kraken on Oregon of all maps.
Yeah, they did really well overall. And look, coming into tonight, the scoreboard does reflect from last week what we have seen from these teams. Team 7 obviously leading the charge, Kraken very close behind. The bottom of the leaderboard still leaves a little bit for us to sort of desire, Spud, but that 4th place spot is definitely up for grabs still.
Yeah, definitely. That 4th place spot, Underground, Get a Grip, both looking forward to it. Get a Grip last time just missed out on getting into that 4th playoff spot by a single point, I believe, and that was lost to Underground Gaming. So Underground Gaming want to make sure they once again secure that playoff spot, but this time with the addition of Circular Spheres, now Surf Esports, things are looking a little bit more difficult.
Well, for the leaderboard to change, we have to play some games. And the games that we have for tonight, we only have 2 due to some unfortunate bouts. Obviously, F2 cannot verse a team that is no longer playing, and Kraken could not field 5. So their games will not be going forward tonight. And the ones that we will be seeing, Surf Esports recently rebranded from Circular Spheres, taking on Team 7. And for game number 2, Underground Gaming versus Get a Grip LFO. Spud, what game has tickled your fancy here for the evening?
Look, I'll be honest, both of these games are really interesting to me in terms of the storylines that we've got going. I mean, Surf Esports versus Team 7, obviously Surf Esports want to come back from a bit of a shocker last week against Not Quite Sure, and they're holding on to that fourth place position, but only by a little bit. Whereas for Underground Gaming and Get a Grip, they're looking to get that 4th place as well. So all these teams here are going to be involved in that fight for 4th place.
Indeed they are. But Spud, another thing that not only the players can go for, but you at home as well. If you want to win an R6 prize pack that the lovely people at LPL have put together for us, I mean, there's chibis, there is credits, lots of different things in there. There's only one thing you need to do. Tweet at us at LPL_R6S using hashtag LPLPro and tell us who your favorite player is and why. Pretty easy, straightforward. Tell your friends, tell your family, get in on it for your chance to win. And other than that, I mean, Spud, who wouldn't want some free stuff?
Yeah, everyone loves free stuff. I certainly love free stuff. I would like some free ELO, but I never seem to get any. So, you know, it is what it is.
It's not as easy as we'd think. But speaking of easy, I mean, one of the teams has been making absolute waves through the tournament so far. Ex-Circular Spheres, now known as Surf Esports, a roster that is very, very scary.
Yeah, definitely. They've had great performances throughout this tournament and in other leagues as well. And certainly the rebrand is going to give them that extra energy. They're representing an org now, and they've got big expectations of them. And certainly not misplaced expectations either, based on how well they've been playing.
Indeed, but Spud, they do have a very, very scary opponent that they are going up against tonight as well. Team 7, a roster with names like Phoenix and Sealy on it, coming from OCN. I mean, these names alone should make anyone scared.
Yeah, Team 7 as well, performing very, very well this tournament. They're currently, at the top of the leaderboard. I don't think they've actually lost yet, if I remember correctly. But also 2nd place in the last season of LPL Pro. So real, tough opponents, even for Surf Esports.
Yeah, these guys have been doing really, really well on and off the pitch. I mean, we've had recent showings from Phoenix and Sealy at local PAX lands. I mean, they were putting in the work elsewhere. But regardless of that, the head-to-head for tonight brought to us by Biocode Lab. Two plays we've talked a lot about in previous playdays, and it's no surprise that they make their appearance here once more on our head-to-head. Lunchbox and Phoenix, two absolutely insane gunners for both of these rosters.
Yeah, all I remember is Lunchbox absolutely getting huge kills on border against F2. It was incredible to see, and of course, he does that on other maps as well. So I want to see how he goes up against the very best that Team 7 has to offer.
Indeed, but these guys are two absolutely insane players. Keep your eye out for them. Maybe they are your favorite players for the tweet. Giving some people some ideas, but the giveaway isn't the only thing you guys can get your hands on. If you want to get your hands on some Biocode Lab products like ones like this, some shakers and whatnot, make sure to use code LPL20 at checkout for 20% off, and use !Biocode in the chat for a little prompt there for anyone watching along. Can vouch, very good, very worth it. So get your hands on some of that before it all disappears. And Spud, what else would we be left for the one thing that we want to know? Where are we going to? What map are we seeing between these two teams for game number 1 tonight? It's not going to be a surprise for anyone, if we're being completely honest. We're back off to Snoregon, but look, we have fun there.
Yeah, I mean, this is a map we've seen, well, pretty much every single week of this tournament, and we've seen some really, really great performances. I still remember Underground Gaming versus Kraken. It's a bit of an upset. We expect Kraken to win, but Underground Gaming came out on top. So maybe we can see an upset here. Team 7 certainly the favorites here, being placed first on the leaderboard, but perhaps Surf Esports could change that tonight.
Yeah, Circular Spheres, aka Surf Esports. Now, I'm sorry, I'm going to do this all night, so apologies to Surf. But Surf Esports, coming out of previous sort of tier 2 level tournaments, actually topped out. They finished first on the leaderboard, and then coming into LPL Pro, have had a little bit of a rocky sort of road. They are still doing reasonably well, finding themselves seated in the top 4, but overall, probably not as dominant as we would have expected. I mean, Team 7, yes, they've played previously together. As I already said, every single player on there has experience from that tier 2 sort of up. They are all insane at this level. These two teams really are the pinnacle. So coming into this, on a map like Oregon, back to basics, you can't rely too much on a sort of strat-like meta. It is just mechanics checking. Who does the basics better, and then ultimately who wins the gunfights at the end of the day. So this one's going to make for an absolute barn burner, because if Phoenix can get going, and very similarly, if Lunchbox can get going, I mean, we saw what he did to F2. Can he do it to Team 7?
Yeah, this is certainly a map where both teams will be very, very comfortable with. And when they're comfortable, of course, they're going to be playing really, really well. They're going to be trying everything they can. That means, of course, we're going to get a really, really great game.
Well, we are ready to jump on into Oregon, ladies and gentlemen. Strap on in for game 1 for the night. But just before we do, Roccat, thank you very much. The Roccat ELO 7.1 Air Surround Sound RGB gaming headset is the next generation headset of today. Available now. Make sure you check it out. Websites and stores near you. But Oregon, the point of focus that we shift to for our first match of the night. We only get 2 spuds, so let's savor it all as we head right on into round number 1 of Oregon here. Starting things off, as always, with the Bears. Spud, what do you think?
Well, we've been seeing a lot of Knock and a lot of Azami bans, and they're both very powerful operators, and especially on this map as well. So I certainly expect at a high level play like this, these teams would be relying on that. I don't think we'll see a Grim ban. Kraken did bring that out last week, but I have a feeling these teams don't really have that much wiggle room to make a Grim ban work.
Well, Fuse is going to be the one that goes. So I guess there's that. Okay, interesting. Some surfs up in the chat. I mean, the new org buff hopefully is going to come in tonight here for the Surf Boys. They've been waiting for a long time for a home. And off the back of some tomfoolery from Blue Panda on Twitter, it eventuated into Surf picking them up. So hopefully we've got the new org buff coming through for these guys. But Knock is going to be the one to go on the attack. So 50-50 on our bans. Fuse, maybe not as expected as we would have thought. Valkyrie to go. Does leave Mirror in the fray, but maybe we see the Azami go over the Mirror. I wouldn't imagine, though.
Yeah, both of those operators very powerful picks here, but of course you do leave the Thatcher available.
Okay. I mean, sure, guys, we can do that.
Okay, no Russians, I guess, but
Spud, this biocode lab is great. I'm really enjoying this. Albeit fusing Capcan from Team 7, interesting bans, but hey, look, it's an interesting team. They like to get the job done, and if that's how they want to do it, let them do their thing. Surf locking in for their first round, rocking the new tags. .surf. I do say it looks clean, boys. Locking in. We've got Scars. We've got Lunchbox. We've got Physics. We've got Goofed. Everyone here ready to go. But look, everything here is looking good. We've got a top floor setup starting out here for Team 7. I mean, usually the default site that we see. That and downstairs, I think we've sort of seen more of a change to the upstairs site anyway. But regardless of that, Team 7, we've got a dock. We have an alibi. Are we thinking there's maybe some spawn peaks? Probably. But regardless of that, oh yeah, Doc. Does Doc have his new buff? I think Doc might have his new buff, right? With the 200 sim pistol. We could see that, but it's a shotgun from Phoenix, so unless he's going for the revolver spawn peak, unfortunately, it's not going to happen.
I don't think it's come out yet. I think it's very soon. I think it's on the test server. It's not
because there was an update,
yet.
But
yeah, no, I think that was a hot patch. We're not going to see the Doc Bailiff just yet, but we do see another shotgun. I did want him to go for a spawn peak, but hey, maybe Campo can make something happen.
Hopefully, maybe starting off the round a little bit slower here, but I mean, Surf, look, they're versing a team like Team 7. They know that they're aggressive. They want to take their time, justify where these players are. So far, not many have been found, but Box has taken a little bit of damage early on here. I'm not too sure where from or who from, but it could be towards that Z Hall. I mean, we don't really see too much from our view at the moment in terms of what's happening on the left side of the map, but there is some good control towards the middle of it. So Surf are definitely making use of that utility and taking the ground when it's given to them.
Yeah, they want to make sure no one's available to play underneath for that perhaps a little bit of attic pressure, but I don't think they're really choosing to go for that. Most of the focus is indeed from this master bedroom side, and Lunchbox probably will just be trying to look for a nade from below, Phoenix being the prime target, of course.
Yeah, that shotgun in the hands of someone like Phoenix is going to be scary, but unfortunately, it's not going to be scary. Well, fortunately, should I say. For Surf, it's not going to be scary for long. Goofed will find the opener on the Zofia. So Phoenix goes down, the stim pistol's taken away. Saber takes a lot of damage as well, but so does Box. However, it is going to be the SMG player that takes down Physics.
Yeah, I think you have to think about it. I'm pretty sure that is Hunter. Pretty sure that is.
I think that's Hunter.
Yeah. Sealy, I was going to say, was proving a lot of trouble with that util position, but Goofed is just better. He's making it work. He's taken down 2 players already, and that's a 2-player advantage. But it's 3v3 now. Saber trades one back.
3 versus 3 with a minute left in play. Plenty of time. Hunter here inside of attic. Does still have a Toxic Babe to work with. Has been droned out now, though. So position known. Surf Esports can execute on this information. Saber on low HP, but it's Campo waiting for the flank. Box goes down. The charge to open up the wall does expose a small amount of the player inside of attic, but the smoke to cover the cross out. He will be spotted. Not the shots connecting, though, as Scars walks into the site. Has an idea that wants towards White. Doesn't take the player out, but down below he hits that shot. And Goofed finds the player inside of attic. It's Scars for a second and Surf. Round number 1 in their new org. They're already locking rounds down in spectacular style. Goof for 3, Scars for 2. The duo getting the job done.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a precarious situation they found themselves in.
I rate that.
I mean, they're going through that master bedroom closet wall, and it seemed that the push was mainly centered around there. They did send one up to try and flank up White stairs, but that was shut down quickly. Thankfully, of course, off the back of a really nice shot through the floor, and Goofed, of course, as always, leading the charge, able to push through attic and then secure those kills for the first round.
Overall, Surf, I mean, they had a great opening round there. Yes, it got a little bit dicey towards the end. You know, they were losing a lot of bodies, but overall, the job was done. Goofed, I mean, he was doing what Goofed does. He points and clicks and people die. He's very, very proficient at it. And finding a player like Phoenix as well in the first opening sort of capacity of picks, that is huge. Takes down the dock. Yes, it was a shotgun, but it's Phoenix. You know, he is the insane gunner that we know and love. And look, he's on the alibi now, so things have got a whole lot more scary. Does he have the ACS-12 though? Big question. We hope, but highly doubt.
Hey, ACS-12 is a great gun. What do you want about it? It does work. It does work. We'll have to see though, because clearly he has the Bailiff in hand. And a lot of roam presence, actually. We have both the Oryx and the and Phoenix as well. So I assume they're going to be playing a lot of vertical presence, going to be taking this floor, this map, quite a lot of it. And that's going to force Surf Esports to fully clear them out. They don't want them hitting their flanks when they're going for the execute. And that will certainly burn out a lot of time.
Indeed, it will. Look, Spud, so far, 30 seconds has gone through. And again, not too much is happening. A slow approach here from Surf, but it worked for them in the last round. So probably a smart idea to employ it once more. They have made their way into that back north side of the building. And they are starting to clear all the way through to the middle as well. But as you said, Team 7, they did have that large presence, but now it's largely fallen back to the site because downstairs is one of those ones you can just bunker on. So hopefully their roamer upstairs can go huge.
Yeah, some pretty good control early on, but as we mentioned, Oryx already on the flank looking to challenge. But I think that shotgun might actually have given his position away, and they know that Campo's around. Certainly with that meeting control, they can stop him from moving up any further.
Well, with the player right on the wall as well, I mean, they do, or should necessarily know that he was there, but he's spotted out in Shower Hall now. Box does do a considerable amount of damage, does choose to give chase, but Campo has retreated into the small tower. So this is going to make things ultimately, no, they're just, okay, no, it's not going to make things difficult at all. Surf, they're playing it smart. They're ignoring him for now. They set up cameras, leave and forget, come back later when they can find him. But the execute does begin. They've got some freezer control. The hatches start to open things up, and Goof is looking to spearhead this attack.
And as always, he's been doing a lot of damage, and I certainly expect him to do a bit more. Campo actually up. I'm not sure how he went down, but that's one player down. Goof at least is taken out. So 4-4. Well, pretty much.
Hey, look, there are some trades here, but Saber furthers the lead. He takes down Physics. And Surf now down 2, have to retrieve the diffuser. Indeed, they will. Box on the rotation here, does find it. Also gets some shots sent to him towards that pillar player, but nothing connects from both sides. 30 remain. It is Jakenna to lead now from Freezer, as Scars has rotated away to try and make a play through blue, but it is going to be the trade out. Scars does find one, traded back out by Hunter, and now it's all up to Lunchbox onside the pillar player. Saber there for a second. Team 7, they find a round back of their own, and unfortunately Surf cannot double down.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to rate that, that roam from Oryx. On the one hand, you could argue that it kind of burnt out some time, but I think Surf Esports handled that fairly well. They knew of his position, they tried to cut him off, and when they realized that it was going to, take too much resource, they simply put a drone down and left him alone. And I think, you can argue that's a pretty effective way of dealing with him. You know he's offsite, you know he can't really affect the game if you cut him off, and certainly they had the tools to do that. I'm not sure if it was an air jab. I'm not sure how he eventually ended up being down, but they at least kept the Oryx at bay. As for the rest of Team 7, of course, that's a different story.
Well, I mean, they managed to at least slow them down. I mean, yes, Campo didn't really get any kills. There was no bang for his buck, but the time wasted. I mean, he opened up the wall, he drew out the drones, went back into small tower. He did a little bit of damage, but then I believe was down by Scars, if I'm not wrong, from what I could gather from what we could see, who was over in that general direction. So it was probably the Habana's doing. But other than that, Spud, I mean, yeah, not too much achieved on that roam, but in turn, a lot achieved at the same time.
That's the type of play you like to see. It's not always about those kills, it's about winning the round. And sometimes what you need to win the round is not team killing, I guess. Alright, that's your hard breach you got. Good stuff, guys.
Oh, it's the New Org curse. It was a buff, but please don't tell me that it's going to turn into a curse this early on. We've played 2 rounds, boys. Scars is out for the count. Jakenna does find one, I suppose, in the round, but look, I'm sad by this event. Yeah, look, it's unfortunate. It happens to the best of us, unfortunately. You know, we've all had those late casual sessions with the boys, but Team 7, they're not too heavy on this roam this time. We do see one, I believe, downstairs there on the observer view, one on the middle floor as well, everyone else back towards the site. So Surf will still have their work cut out for them, especially now that they're already in that 4v5 deficit. So they're going to need at least one just to equalize in this position.
Yeah, Lunchbox now looking for Saber. He does have the live drone, so he knows roughly of this position, but he does know there is someone above him as well, and he actually gets caught by Campo from another angle. That's a great kill. Once again, furthering that round, that player count advantage for Team 7.
Yeah, Jakenna's going to be kicking himself now, but Phoenix could be the next problem. He will be spotted, though, so he is going to have to retreat back down to the bottom floor. The Arna clone was what caught him out. He's going to be Jakenna to at least make it back for the one that he lost. He takes out Saber, but in doing so, I believe it was Campo to find a kill on to Lunchbox or Goofed elsewhere. So correct me if I'm wrong. But Phoenix is still on this roam. Physics is waiting for him, waiting and ready. Surely he's going to find this kill. Nope, spotted out. Nitro to cover his tracks, but Physics isn't chasing. Jakenna will find another. He's actually just walking towards the side. He's in trophy. He's retrieved the diffuser and Spud. I mean, there's a minute left. This is doable.
Yeah, that nade almost took out Hunter as well. He does survive with his life, and I certainly would expect Smoke to be able to make a difference here if he can keep alive. Physics, however, looking for that Roma, might actually be caught looking the wrong way. Phoenix does miss, though. This Roma could decide the fate of this round.
They are going to go for the group up walk in here. Phoenix doesn't realise the player has left him, but it's Jakenna in for third. He's inside of the site. Physics finds another as well very quickly. It's all up to Phoenix. No Nitro left to make a play with. There's 20 seconds left. Team 7, the ultimate throw here. He has to force up White. He has to take the gunfight. He spots the head of one. What a shot, my God. Can he find the second pistol in hand? He doesn't quite get it. Jakenna for 4. Surf Esports make up for it, but my God, it came down to the wire. Phoenix, that was insane, but Jakenna, he makes up for the losses he caused. My, it started off with a team kill, but what an ending to that round.
I guess it's all part of the plan, right? Surely, it had to be part of the plan. I mean, I was really, really worried for Surf Esports. Losing a hard breacher right off the bat on Oregon is not a great way to start. There's so many walls you need to open. The closet wall, at the very least, you need to open, and not having that hard breacher certainly limits the avenues of entry you have to get onto the site. But of course, you can just use the old walk in and kill everyone that Jakenna employed, and that certainly worked out really, really well. And Team 7 are going to be a little bit upset, I think, following that round.
Yeah, we like to say there was a little bit of C9ing going on there. Phoenix, unfortunately, not fast enough back to the site for support. And then on top of that, everyone on site sort of just tripped over and passed away at some point in a gunfight. But look, there was a lot going on in that round, Spud. And the fact that Jakenna made up for it, those were his first 4 kills in the game. So you do have to hand it to him. That was a good way to bring it back, especially after that team kill in the opening moments.
Yeah, the morale there is going to be really, really important. Being able to recover from that will certainly help Surf Esports continue putting up this lead. Phoenix looking for the spawn peak, doesn't quite land it, and Scars is a little bit scratched, but I guess it's better than being shot in the back of the head.
Hey, it works. If it works, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, Spud. But yeah, Scar's definitely probably a little bit happier that he's actually alive at the current moment. But Phoenix opting to play a little bit closer to the site this time. We do see, I believe, everyone on site actually, from what I can see through the wall. Yeah, everyone is on site right now for Team 7. They are not opting into a roam at all. Scars does spot one, goes for the one tap. Unfortunately, doesn't connect for him. We'll have to opt for the reload here. No jump out. The thought was possibly there for Phoenix, but he does opt to back up and give Surf a little bit of leeway on the double window.
Yeah, I was concerned that perhaps without the roam, that Surf Esports would have a bit of free reign in terms of nading from below, but there's only one set, so I wouldn't be too concerned about it. And of course, taking out Scars early once again is certainly going to be a help. But if history is anything to learn by, it could be that he's just the sacrifice you need to win the round.
Yeah, look, Scars went down first in the last, and Jakenna got 4 kills, so, you know, he's dead again here. Jakenna's good for 4 more, you know, statistically speaking. Phoenix is on the hunt, though. And Lunchbox will find one onto Saber, so at least they have consolidated a single loss. But the next issue then becomes, you know, you've lost your Dokkaebi, don't have your Impact EMPs anymore unless they bought any more. It doesn't look like they have. So unless the Twitch can go huge here, Kenneth doesn't actually have any drones left. Things for opening up the wall are starting to dwindle. Physics does take down Phoenix, though, so that is a big fragging potential off the board here for Team 7, but still, oh my gosh, goofed. Gets away by the skin of his teeth. He walks up for a freebie. Campo there behind the shield, thought he was safer than he really was, and he gets away scot-free, but at least there's one traded back there by Hunter. A nice shot from Physics, because indeed it was. Box finds his second, and things get a whole lot closer as we come into the last 45, and it's all up to Hunter in a 1 versus 3 on the smoke. Spud, the prospect is not looking good at all. He's spotted out. Will he get any? Yes, he will. The down with the shotgun. He's good for another. No, he's not, unfortunately. And Jakenna finds his kill in the round. There you go. Surf for another one.
Told you, it's all part of the plan. You just got to sacrifice Scars and
get rid of
boom,
Scars.
You win the round. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
That was a really, really well executed attack from Surf Esports. Phoenix was really giving them a lot of trouble, I think, in Attic. He was able to deny that push from the top of the armory stairs, master bedroom walk-in as well. So for Physics to be able to take out that player certainly enabled them to take that trophy control, open up that wall and closet. And that's, of course, where we saw those final kills. The pressure on the site was just too much for Team 7.
Yeah, unfortunately for Team 7 there, look, that previous round, before obviously the one that we just watched, I think has genuinely shook them up a little bit. I mean, that was a round that arguably, let's be honest, but they should have won. Unfortunately, they didn't due to some mistakes made across the board. But Scars really does seem to be the deciding factor here. When he's alive, they lose. When he's gone, you know, it is back-to-back rounds. So given that this is an Oregon defense, Team 7 ideally want to win the next 2 if they want to have an easy attacking half, or at least an easier attacking half. But if Surf are good for 2 more here, I mean, a 5-1 going onto the defense of Oregon, that's great.
Yeah, so far they haven't been playing too terribly, I would argue. But of course, as we mentioned that round 2 rounds ago, did impact their mental state a little bit. So they do need to pick things back up. You need to get back up, get back onto that horse, and keep on going. Otherwise, of course, you risk losing that first place position, and Surf Esports definitely don't have anything to lose at this point. They need to get that win in order to hold on to that 4th place position.
Yeah, look, it's going to be a stretch, but still, Surf, they're going to be hunting for it. Team 7 have Kraken to worry about. Now, Kraken are going to be set back a little bit in terms of the pace, given that they didn't play this week. They couldn't field their 5. So their FF is still going to count towards the leaderboard's standings. So Team 7 do have that to sort of work with. Keep in mind, you know, if they lose this game, they do have that to sort of lean back on. But still, they shouldn't be aiming for that. Make as big a lead as you can, because teams like Surf are definitely trying to do their best to take it away.
Moving in from the big tower, I believe this is the same sort of push we saw last time, but of course that was a Team 7 victory here. I can't remember exactly how that went down, but that's right, it was the Oryx, I believe, who managed to stall out a lot of that time. This time, not so much roaming presence, and that might be the difference here. Last time, Surf Esports did have to dedicate a bit of time to get rid of that Oryx, but now they've got free reign to really add pressure onto this site. Will Team 7 be able to hold out for long enough?
Look, Spud, I'd imagine so. They've got a lot of utility. When the smoke's coming out now, there's still 2 left to work with. They will be looking to open up the wall inside of electrical now, but at this point, the mirror's already been opened up. You know, they did that from above. So they're giving themselves an avenue to possibly go for a plant towards the backside of B here, which is usually the default. But other than that, they are spread quite thin at the moment.
Yeah, of course, that runs the risk of walking into those crossfires from Team 7 without being able to trade back. And Hunter, of course, starts things off. It's on to Goof of all people. What a great pick to find.
Goof goes down. The Aruni Gate is going to make things slow, but it's Jakenna inside of the site. He's taken out. Phoenix does find one, but he is traded. Scars will find another onto Sealy very quickly. A 2 versus 3, Team 7. Somewhat falling apart here. as these players start to make it towards the site. One spotted out there, but Scars not quite realizing that that player was there. The shot is connected, and Scars, sorry, the Box will find the confirmation onto the aforementioned down player. Campo now the last alive in a 1 versus 2. No Nitro to play with, does take down Physics, but on low HP, now left in the 1 versus 1. Box will confirm onto Phoenix. He now has 3 seconds to make it happen. He swings on out. The mirror just needs to hide. That's all that needs to happen. And Team 7 on time. A great play there from Campo. Look at that. Just looking the wrong way. Would have spotted him as well, but unfortunately not quite quick enough there. A 2-speed, 2 armor can't keep up. And Team 7, let's be honest, they needed that round, but my, it could not have been any closer if they'd tried.
Yeah, probably too close for comfort there for Team 7. I think they certainly would have preferred to be able to hold off Surf Esports a little bit more. They did pretty well. I noted that they only began their entry about 45 seconds, and they didn't give up any picks before that, but certainly an earlier pick, perhaps stall a little bit, maybe another 10, 15 seconds, could have really made Team 7's life a lot easier. Having said that, it is still a round win, and a round win they desperately needed. They're now looking for the third of this half to make it at least an even split before going onto the attack.
That was a great round from Team 7. Aside from it coming down, to that 1v1 based on time, etc., Team 7, I don't think the score is really indicative of what they've been playing siege-wise, because they have been doing really, really good. It's just Surf have been able to pick on so many mistakes and just run with them. I mean, Kenna with a 4K to lock that round out. Scars opening things up that round with a lot of kills for himself as well. Box almost clutching it out. I mean, Surf are literally right on their heels. So Team 7 have been doing really well, despite the round count not being in their favour.
Yeah, it's certainly much, much better than what we saw from Surf Esports last week. Of course, that was a 2-7 defeat to none other than Not Quite Sure. So certainly they've made some redemptions for themselves, and certainly really putting on the pressure for Team 7. I don't think I've seen Team 7 kind of struggle as much as they have this particular season. So that's props to Surf Esports, and certainly they've got the lineup this round as well to certainly make Meeting Kitchen work for them.
Yeah, look, Spud, I mean, Surf Esports have really been on an absolute tear. They slammed F2 a couple of play days ago, and I mean, with Scars finding kills like that, I mean, Hunter, that is unfortunate, but caught lacking, you mess around, you find out, and dangerous games, you win dangerous prizes.
Yeah, Hunter has been one of those key clutch players left alive right at the end. He gets so many kills with that SMG and the shotgun. So to lose him that early is a bit of a shame. The only consolation, I suppose, is that he's not the smoke this time. But you do lose a C4 to work with. Having said that, not so much vertical. You can throw the C4 up as well. So not as huge of a loss as it could have been. Still, Surf Esports will want to take that one-player advantage, now reduced to none. Saber getting a trade back onto Jakenna.
Big from Saber, really, there. I mean, Jakenna has been an absolutely dominating force, but there you go, Goofed from below. He finds the nade. Speaking of, Nitro's not the only thing he can do it, but Phoenix is there to wreak some havoc. He at least takes one for the troubles. Goofed falls. He falls back to the site, but Team 7 not looking in great health as we come down to the final minute. Surf looking for this execute, but they still need to clear up top, and if Box has anything to say about it, hopefully he can pull it off.
He's looking at a lot of angles here, worried about a lot of people. He does have to deal with the player downstairs as well, support with that shield, but he also, of course, has to worry about the player up top, and it will be the player up top. Saber indeed takes him out, and now with the top floor control, given back to Team 7, things are looking very, very different.
Well, Physics finds one. However, Phoenix does make things difficult. That's a headshot, my God. Physics takes down Phoenix, but from the hatch, Saber could win it all. He spots the back end, but he doesn't quite realize. He chooses to give it up. He runs back to the side. It's a full health Osa taking on Saber, who's already been lit up a considerable amount in this round. No impacts to play with, so the shield will remain. He does spot the head, but the shots give his position away. Physics now holding the angle, spots him crossing on through. Cannot connect with the PDW-50 at the moment, but has the rotate to play with. Saber chooses to aggress on round. Physics is there for the cleanup, and my, Surf, they end the 2.5 with a 4-2, but it was so close, so many rounds. I mean, Spud, that was the third 1v1 that we've seen it come down to, but now Surf going to the defense. Team 7 arguably are the ones with the hill that is now facing them. They are going to have the big climb on the attack.
Yeah, really, really well played there from Surf. Managed to get a lot of those trades really quickly. Every time Team 7 took out a player, Surf were there to get the trade back. So really good use as well of that shield. They saw the shield, they saw the opportunity and used it perfectly against Team 7 as well. I mean, if it defends against the top and you don't have the top floor, well, why not use it to your own advantage? So, like that bit of ingenuity there, and certainly it does put them on an advantage here. 4-2, starting on the defense is a really good position to be in, and as you mentioned, it's up to Team 7 to take that initiative back and get this game going in their favor.
They're a team that plays hyper aggressive, and Surf are reading into that really, really well. I mean, we've seen peaks come out from players like Phoenix, you know, like Sealy, that are just super hyper aggro, but they work. 9 times out of 10, you see it. We've seen it in multiple other games. They work. Surf have been reading into that. They've been dealing with the issue, and unfortunately for Team 7, that just means, you know, no turnaround, which is what we're seeing in the score. They're 2 rounds down now. They're going to the attack, arguably the harder side of Oregon. So, can they make it work?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen hyper aggression on Oregon being punished. Kraken did lose to Underground Gaming 7-8, and you know, in the post-match interview, they mentioned it was because they were used to that aggression and they countered it very, very well. So I think Surf Esports certainly will have taken a page from Underground Gaming's book, and especially with kills like that, 2 big picks off the start. Team 7 looking a little worse for wear.
Yeah, look, not the greatest of starts. I mean, that's Phoenix and Campo down as well. So 2 of your big fraggers off the board like that. Unfortunately, though, in saying so, they do lose physics in the process. Surf this is. So it's a 1 for 2. You know, a Jaeger lost, not bad for the defense, but an Ash and a Zof down, that hurts for Team 7.
Yeah, certainly in terms of the utility traded out, Surf Esports came out on top of that. And just look at it, the amount of utility they have left. 2 C4s to deny and all the smoke grenades. If Team 7 lose another set of grenades, then I would be really, really concerned because they lack kind of the utility needed to clear out that shield as well. It's going to be difficult. Not undoable, but certainly difficult, even for Team 7.
Yeah, indeed, it will be difficult. I mean, only half the round really remains, and they still haven't found a kill to equalize a 3 versus 3, let alone Marcellus, but my from range, dude. He is the quickscope champion there. Takes down Sealy. He didn't even stand a chance. I didn't even think he scoped in. But Saber does find one, walks down main. Scars is there to trade it, and it's all up to Hunter on the Habana. We've seen him do it before. Will he do it again? Look, in a 1 versus 3 with Jakenna and the boys on fire, I mean, Goofed and Scars alone, 14 kills. There's 45 seconds. He has to rotate all the way around. At least he has Diffuser, but Spud, it's not looking good.
Yeah, with the cam still up, that information's going to be there, and so is Jakenna with the shotgun in hand right into the chest of Hunter. And that's another one for Surf Esports. Surf's up indeed. They are 5-2 up, in fact.
Oh, Spud. Team 7, unfortunately, on the spicy end of the M590 that round. The one that deals the damage, some could say. But look, at the same time, again, it was just hyper aggro. Indeed, hashtag make waves. I mean, Scars, they have done really, really well so far. So, at the same time, Team 7, I don't know. Maybe they're just not feeling it tonight. Not the same Team 7 that we saw in the previous couple of play days. But look, Surf, as we said, they've been making waves. They dominated F2 a couple of weeks ago. I know I keep reiterating that, but that was a testament to how this team can play, both, you know, when they're having fun and messing around, but at the same time when they're being completely serious. We got both sides of the picture there. So to see them come in and currently be 3 rounds up against the top team at the league at the moment is a great feat.
Attackers are moving out
Yeah, certainly. It's a Surf Esports we wanted to see. It's been a little bit of time coming sometimes, but they've gotten there. And if they continue this run, certainly in these last few weeks, I could see them shooting up that leaderboard, especially with Kraken having to take that 7-point round differential and the loss. But of course, Surf Esports aren't all the way there yet. Team 7 still in the fight, and I wouldn't expect anything less from them. Sincerely, of course,
Gift.
starting things off on to Gift. And suddenly-
okay.
All right. It's turned right around.
It's a game now. A spark of hope. Team 7 find 2. And onto some pretty good players as well. I mean, Goofed and Box down as well. I mean, that is a good start at least. But the commit to the swing there, a trade? Question mark? No, sorry. Chikena takes down 1, but he's put on low HP. Scars does find 1 as well. Chooses to get aggressive on the window here. A triple kill for Saber. Scars looking to find another. Indeed, he will. Completely blinded out of his mind, though. It's going to make things a little bit difficult as the players do start to walk up the white stairs. Scars opts for the rotate. Will make it into kids through those prone holes. So he's got a 1v2 on his hands against Saber and Sealy. But make it a 1v1. Scars is sharp, ladies and gentlemen. Sealy bites the dust, and it's now all up to Saber.
My
Scars
goodness!
is crazy. My, this man is sharp. Don't leave scissors around him. Oh my, surf's up indeed. That was an absolutely insane clutch Overwatch aim. He's been hitting the aim labs, but my, what a way to find match point. A 1 versus 3 Scars. He definitely wasn't dead in that round, and he got the job done.
Well, if Team 7 were upset before, they're going to be more upset after that one. A 3v1. And just like that, Scars cleans up. Of course, opening up really, really well onto that Ying on that window. And of course, that left the diffuser outside. And then things changed. Team 7 knew they had to at least push him because it was going to take too long to rotate all the way back out and get the diffuser. And they did so in a terrible fashion, let's be honest. 1 at a time. And that, of course, opened the door for Scars to get those 3 picks and a win.
Jeez, that is sharp from Scars. I mean, Sealy just, see you later. Peeks on over to White. How you doing? See you later. Those were some sharp shots there from Scars. And I mean, Surf, they're happy with that. The first 2 rounds, he was the buff that they needed. But that round, he was the savior that they needed. They desired, they deserved. And he came through with the goods. So now on match point, I mean, we're 1 round away from our top team in the league being taken down by, I believe, our 3rd or
4th.
I mean,
actually.
yeah, 4th. So big upsets here again.
Yeah, mind you, Team 7 haven't actually lost a single match this entire season. So if they do lose here, that will mark the first one. And 7-2 as well would be huge. Surf Esports, of course, need those rounds after last week. But hey, starting out this week like that certainly is going to be really, really good for the morale. And I think Surf Esports, the org, will be pretty happy with that performance.
Hey, on game day number 1, you know, the fresh team that you've just signed an LPL Pro taking a 7-2 victory, provided they don't, you know, do something terribly wrong here, would be great. But we do lose Chikena early. Phoenix, however, is taken off the board. I mean, so far, Surf have been doing really well, just single-handedly shutting down Phoenix. I don't know if it's intentional, but they are doing a really good job of it. Saber now almost also now taken off the board. Indeed, he will be. There you go, Lunchbox to find that with the Bailiff. And very quickly, again, 2 big names taken off the board here. But similarly, Physics is traded out by Campo inside of meeting.
Yeah, all of this pressure now coming from this big tower side, and of course that does leave some flanking options open for Scars. And of course we did see, I believe, the Alibi, whoever that is, big Lunchbox, of course, underneath. So if they time this right, wait for the correct time when that execute is coming down, they could certainly do a lot of damage. But of course, with Campo being that live drone and holding that long angle, using those Ocean shields, it's going to limit their options. It's all down to that the basement flank, which is the one that could do the most damage.
Keep in mind, Spot, they don't have any upstairs presence. No one on the hatch above. from the attacking side. And with Scars, I mean, he's still sharp. He's got the confidence boost from last round. They do still have a player above as well. Goofed, if I'm not mistaken, is still on the hatch above meeting. Scars isn't quite spotted out just yet, but Campo is going to win the fight. They force their way into kitchen. It's a 2 versus 2 here. The diffuser now starting to go down, but again, this player above, no, Goofed opts to drop. He doesn't have the hatch control anymore. This could open the door for Team 7 to at least take a round and shut down the overtime here. The box is inside of security. Will spot the head of one, but he's not taken down. They find both. Team 7 hold on for one more. It's 6-3, but 3 rounds to find is still a lot to take, regardless of that, Spud. The comeback begins now.
Well, this is definitely a very difficult journey. As you mentioned, still 3 rounds just to get to overtime. But at least that's a mental step up. They've seen that they're in dire straits, and they've certainly pulled out a really nice strat, pulled out all the goods they need deep from that strategy bag, and they've made it work. 3-6. It's not the best scoreline to be in, of course, mind you. Surf Esports are still about to win, but certainly that was really, really well played from Team 7. I especially love the fact that they chose not to brute force that meeting plant. They knew they didn't have that top floor control, and they went for kitchen. I like that fast rotate over taking control of that. As you mentioned, Goof dropping the hatch when he could have been playing the hatch from above probably changed things.
Not too sure why Goof dropped there. I mean, they had Kid's hatch open. All he could have done was rotate over, make some noise, scare them off, push them into the waiting arms of Lunchbox. But hey, in the heat of the moment, we might say it now. We have the lovely thing called hindsight. But Spud, the call may have been made that they were planning and meeting still. Goof was trying to do his best. At the end of the day, Team 7 hold on for one more, but Surf still hold a 3-round lead. So who really came out on top there?
Back to the basement now. Last time we did see, of course, Surf Esports take this one with a lot of shotgun and
no refrag.
Saber?
Solo?
What?
Is he actually solo? He is. He's solo. No refrag at all. Saber is solo walking into small tower. This is also not good. Goof spotted out. He does get away. Takes a lot of damage in the process, and unfortunately, Phoenix just walks in upstairs. The refrag hopefully is going to be here. There you go. The nitro from down below. Lunchbox is good for his second in the round, but I'm honestly, that was a very hectic opening minute there, Spud. I mean, Team 7 again losing Phoenix and Saber right off the get-go. Jakenna once more back on the cameras, but again, Yana and Twitch traded out for a Malusi. The defense come out on top, and they all just disappear back to the site, bunker on down. It's exactly what they should be doing.
Yeah, as we mentioned, every time it seems that Team 7 are in the worst end of this utility trade. Gone are also the C4s. You lose some of that ability to take out some of these gadgets as well. They do have a bit of stuff to work that bunker shield if they do choose to go for it, but I think they are just going to push straight down Freezer. No shotgun close range this time means they will get down the stairs at least, but certainly there's going to be that crossfire held from the pillar area and of course the laundry area. It's going to make it very, very difficult.
So 3 versus 4. Goof has looked a little bit better in previous rounds, but it is going to be Camper to take down Scars, so no more clutching from him in this round. And Goofed is doing what Phoenix did. He's roaming late, but can he come down the main... I mean, if he comes down the main stairs now, this would be huge. He's got 2 there that he could do some massive damage to, but Campo takes down Lunchbox. It's now Physics alone on the site, and 590 in hand. Goofed has returned. Can watch for the freeze across here. Teammate giving him some calls. Trying to dictate where these players are. The flashbangs to come out. Line to peek round. Campo is blinded, but Physics lines up too. He goes huge, but again, we end up in a 1 versus 1. Campo versus Goofed. Low HP on the alibi. No line scans or flashbangs to work with. 30 bullets left in magazine. Campo has to go huge here. He's looking for his 11th. Goof not known in the corner. He hasn't been spotted either. Campo makes it down the hallway. Does he give his position away? No. He's not spotted out, but he didn't see Goofed either. Goofed is going to choose to get aggressive coming down the hall. He's spotted moving into Freezer. Campo, he needs to line something up here. The shoulder's spotted. Does Goof know he's come out deep? No, he doesn't, but Campo wins it anyway. Team 7 once more holding on for dear life on the roundabout that is this match so far in Oregon. Surf losing another. We go to 6-4 and Team 7, I mean, they're 2 rounds away from overtime, Spud. This could be everything we ever hoped for.
Well, we may have jinxed it, but when Team 7 needed a player to step up, Campo indeed stood up. I think that was like 4 kills. I'm not quite sure on the exact number, but there's a lot of kills. He really made it work. He was still almost on full health by the end of it. So certainly really, really important to get those trades back. We were criticizing Team 7 early on. They didn't have the players supporting each other. So it did seem they were lacking on those trades. But when you have Campo just walking around and murdering everyone, then I guess it's okay. But certainly, you can't rely on a single player carrying every single time. Surf Esports making a return to that basement site, and they're still 2 rounds up. Team 7 do still need to take another 2 to make it overtime.
2 rounds is a lot. You know, in competitive Siege, it is a lot. So Team 7 have their work cut out for them. They've done well so far. I mean, they've found 2. So regardless of the fact that that is the case, I mean, Surf, they still hold a lead, but they're going to have to make it work right now.
Lunchbox once again hanging out by that small tower. I don't think he'll get as lucky this time, and certainly Team 7 I think have learnt their lesson. They've sent Campo and Saber to deal with him to cut down that roamer. Lunchbox though will be a little bit wiser, does fall back further back, and yeah, maybe in a position that can get some support from Goofed as well, rotating up from that white stairs.
Yeah, no kills in the early moments of this round, very similar to what we saw in the last one, but still, I mean, Team 7, they're going to open it up with 1. Flashbang does connect, that's great. That's going to force the Pirate Top Freezer away, but in saying that, the Habana just, open things up on the main door. Also, with that opening kill, Jakenna falls. Again, very similar. He's been going down very early in these rounds, but Phoenix, once more, taken off the board to start with, and Lunchbox is there for another. So while they have found the opening kill, they have also, unfortunately, traded 2 out. Lunchbox could be good for another. Does spot Saber here. Will he get away with it? No, Saber! A great pre-fire, so they equalize at least before it all dies down.
Lunchbox and maybe Surf Esports getting a little too confident for their own good. Certainly some nice shots there from Lunchbox, but certainly traded back out. And now we go back to that freezer take. It did work out last time for Team 7. It looks like they're going to go for the repeat. Having said that, I'm not sure if they have as many hatches open, and that's going to limit the avenues that Surf Esports have to watch.
Goof taking down Saber is also quite huge, because now, I mean, yes, Campo clutched in the last. He is on the line again, does have a flashbang to play with, but is going to have to use it wisely. And as I say that, he does throw it out. Maybe blind Scars if he's lucky, who is indeed actually concussed at the given time. But Sealy does have some utility to work with as well. Swing is good here, but spotted out. Goofed almost not making the connection, but he does still find... No, sorry, it's Physics actually to find that kill. Sealy now the last alive. We've seen Scars do it. We've seen Campo do it. We've seen a lot of people do it in this game, actually, Spud, if we're being completely honest. Can he pull it off? A 1 versus 3. 40 seconds on the Zofia, fresh off the buff. Plenty of time, but no. Goofed is there for his 3rd in the round. It's GG, well played. Ladies and gentlemen, Surf, fresh off the signing papers, have found their first match here in LPL and have put an end to the reign of the previously undefeated Team 7. What a way to kick off their debut as Surf Esports. An amazing showing from the whole team, and the scoreboard goes to show it. 7-4, Scars with 13, Goofed on 10 as well. I mean, that is absolutely insane, Spud.
Blue Panda may have been trolling a little bit with his post, but Surf Esports certainly have not been trolling at all this map. Really, really well played. I was a little bit concerned there as they got to that match point that they would, get a little too ahead of themselves, but certainly they pulled things back together at the end. I especially like that restraint we saw in that freezer. Goof hanging by the box. He was waiting for that contact, waiting to be able to play off that contact with the, I believe, the player hiding behind the bomb on the other side of that wall. And then, of course, 3v1, then they didn't swing out unnecessarily. They waited for the right moment, and of course, that gave them the win.
Yeah, overall, this match was very back and forth up until the last few moments. And in saying so, Surf were definitely the team that I would say capitalized a lot more in this matchup on mistakes. We saw plenty of times Team 7 having an advantage and then doing something like sending one player off, without a refrag. I mean, the amount of kills that Lunchbox found over towards Small Tower or similarly other Roman without a refrag was just insane.
Yeah, and here we are, of course, the classic 1v3 clutch, some really, really nicely placed shots. And there, you see it. They walk up to him one by one, and you cannot do that. You cannot underestimate any player in a situation like that. Scars of all people. Was 1v1, what a clutch as well from Campo to keep them right in the game. Wasn't quite enough in the end, but certainly still really, really well played from Team 7.
Overall, match number 1 was an absolute heater as promised. I mean, Surf, great debut from them. The org definitely happy with the performance there. But we are going to head to a very short break. And when we come back, we will be on for the last game of the night. So don't go anywhere. Grab yourself some refreshments, maybe a little bit of Biocode Lab in your spare time. And make sure you get those tweets out. We'll be back momentarily.
Kia ora whanau, that guy's Energy here, and I am here at the Sky Tower in Tāmaki Makaurau to check out the new Sky Slide, which is just opened. Let's go check it out. This is their brand new virtual reality experience based up on their main observation deck. It's a crazy ride, offering 360-degree views of Auckland at up to 100 kilometers per hour. The motion platform imitates the 3D rendered open-air slides, twists and turns above the skies of Tāmaki Makaurau. Counting down, punch it, let me at him. Hey! Free air, whoa! Whoever's done the render for this has done like an incredible job. Whoa! It's also really comfortable, like the motion platform's super nice. It's actually really selling all of these like different twists and turns. Another free fall, whoa! Whoa! We're heading home, boys, we're heading home. Whew. So it's $40 for the experience, which includes viewing platform access, or it's just $15 on top of your tower ticket, and it's for ages 8 and up.
Tracking target at full velocity. Predicting trajectory. Wunderbar.
Did I mention it comes wrist-mounted?
No. I don't like to use the word hero. But I did save the boss's life, you know. Hey, Osa! Wait up!
I already said I won't take any selfies with you.
I know. But I was thinking, high-tech is seriously trending right now. So I was kind of hoping I could borrow one of your toys for a little photo shoot.
Some of these toys come with a $50 million price tag.
Well, then why did these tourists get to play?
Because if they break it, Rainbow buys it. Besides, Kali wants them to feel at home.
Right, Callie, the big plan. What's the big plan again?
Lips are sealed, hero.
Come on. I helped build this place. Don't you think I should be in the know?
I think you should be focused on winning the invitational, not showing off to our senior physicist.
Thought she was a biologist. You all look the same to me.
What? Women?
Nerds.
You know what, Ace? I think I will help you with that photo shoot.
Ah, really? Awesome.
Of course. Could you just stand a little to the left?
Like this?
Perfect. Say nerd. Keep bugging my staff and this goes viral.
Oh, no, come on. Please don't tell Callie.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back from the break. We are here. I mean, Spud, we've just come off the back of an absolutely insane game one for the night. We come back and we look to game two, but just before we do, we have had some tweet submissions come in, and the first one for our giveaway this evening is from iDrift. Myself, by reason, is perfect. Well, look. He has found the proverbial grip, has been from a grip, but he's explaining, who his favourite player is, himself, and his reason is because, well, he's perfect, and I really find it hard to argue with him. A man that knows what he wants and in his life. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But there you go. Follow those instructions at the bottom of the screen, similar to what iDrift said, but maybe a little bit more spice this time because, yes, iDrift might be perfect, but at the end of the day, everyone isn't. So for the remainder of the evening, we have one more game, and obviously it comes down to Underground versus Get a Grip. Spud, what did you think of our first, and what are you thinking going into our second?
Well, that first one was an absolute banger. There is no other way to describe it. Surf Esports certainly putting Team 7 down, and no one expected it. Let's be honest. We did think Team 7 would keep their position at the top of the leaderboard, but Surf Esports, well, very, very well done. 7-4. That, of course, has implications for our next game now, Underground versus Get a Grip. Now, of course, both these teams looking to get into a fourth place position, but with Surf Esports taking that victory, things are going to be a lot more difficult. Their only consolation is that perhaps that Kraken might be falling through a little bit because they do take that loss, but not quite sure do then shoot up the rankings as well. So whoever it is, they do still need to fight really, really hard for this upcoming match.
Indeed, they do. I mean, yeah, Kraken, it's going to be hurting them. But for some of the other teams, the Kraken loss isn't really going to be affecting too much. I mean, yes, Team 7, it may hurt them a little bit, but other than that, I mean, I don't think the top of the leaderboard is going to change too much, given that they lose the 7-0. Maybe the round count might be different. Maybe Kraken do take over. But other than that, I wouldn't really be surprised if we don't see too much changing tonight. But as we said, the middle of the leaderboard is where we expect the changes to be. And speaking of middle of the leaderboard, Underground, a team that has had some absolutely amazing performances in the previous season of LPL Pro, coming into this season, season number 2, they are looking to do some damage. But Spud, there is a player on here that we see filling in for tonight. Bappen has not been able to make it this evening. The washing machine maybe cut the power out. Lumi comes into the fray for UG.
Yeah, certainly expected to see how he will be able to play as well as coach. Normally he is, of course, the coach. This time he's going to be putting theory into practice and he's going to put his hands on the mouse and keyboard himself. So certainly looking forward to his debut. Of course, Underground, we've seen some great performances from them. They did notably beat Kraken on Oregon, which was until that point Kraken's undefeated map, and following that still is. So Underground certainly can put out a lot of damage.
Sources tell me secretly in the break that the Plat 2 ranked demon himself, Lumi, aforementioned coach of UG, is looking to go pro this year, and this is going to be his debut. So what a way to start it with the LPL Pro Series. I mean, he's a gunner in his own right, so putting him in, chucking him on support and letting him go ham. I mean, he's got some big shoes to fill, but let's be honest, Lumi can probably do it. You know, he's been in the scene for a while. He's pretty scary, but he's got a scary team to go up against as well. Get a grip, Spud. Another team that has that seasoned veteran stack. I mean, iDrift, you know, he's the perfect player. You know, he told us himself that he's the perfect player, but with some great support behind him. River, Owen, Ducko, and 90 Jin.
Yeah, 90 Jin, another player that we do talk about a lot of mechanical prowess. Bring that into LPL Pro. We haven't seen him do as well as we would have hoped sometimes, but certainly there's still a lot of opportunities. And it's not to say that Get a Grip, you know, are doing terribly either. They have managed to take out Surf Esports in that very first week when they were still known as Circular Sphere. So certainly still able to take out big teams and big players.
And the head-to-head, once again, brought to us by Biocode Lab for this matchup. MML, a player that has had some absolutely insane moments in previous playdays, and obviously everyone's favourite perfect player, iDrift, the proverbial grip finder of IRL moments. I mean, he is an insane gunner. You know, he can clutch up, he can do pretty much everything. But MML, I mean, we've seen him play really good Siege so far for this team. So both of these players definitely wants to keep your eyes out for tonight.
Yeah, certainly. Underground Gaming and Get a Grip, both teams with a lot of synergy, and of course that's down to the players. The fact that they've been practicing together for so long, they've been doing so much more than just, you know, playing ranked. They've actually been practicing, and that has certainly really helped them. Really makes them a team as opposed to just a group of 5 players.
I feel like UG's got the buff tonight. I mean, the coach, arguably the man that does all the big thinking, coming in. I mean, if Lumi doesn't drop 20, I don't know what went wrong there, because UG, they should really just be feeding him. I mean, he's got to start somewhere. And getting into PL, you have to have a 20 bomb on your record. So I'm expecting big things from Lumi tonight. But Map Vetoes, where are we going to? What's happening? Is it going to be Oregon? Let's hope not. We've already seen it once tonight. No, it's not. It is going to be the next best thing, though, because Oregon was second last to be banned out. Villa, we go off to. Now, Villa is a map that, I mean, let's be honest, has been pretty good for UG in the past. It's also been relatively decent for Get a Grip, though, in other Tier 2 tournaments. So, Spud, I mean, what are you expecting with the knowledge of that coming into this matchup?
Yeah, again, I think this is one of those games where it's going to be really close. Get a Grip do have the advantage that they have played this map this season, and they took an 8-7 victory on it against Circular Spheres, now Surf Esports. So they have that advantage, I guess, that practice from before. But certainly Underground Esports, as you mentioned, no slouches either. And I think, you know, certainly they will have been practicing. They know that Get a Grip will like Villa based on their previous results, and based on the practice that and preparation that Underground does do, if they have done that this time, I certainly see, you know, Underground could certainly beat Get a Grip here.
Yeah, they definitely could. They did it to Kraken, but no more dilly-dallying. We are going to jump right on into game number 2 for the night. Villa, ladies and gentlemen, UG taking on Get a Grip. They are 2 teams, 2 names that we know and love, not only in this series, but elsewhere as well. I mean, this is going to be an absolute heater, but just before we do, the Roccat Burst Pro Air, a lightweight optical wireless RGB gaming mouse, is available now, so make sure you check it out online and in stores near you. Spud, as always, we start things off once more, and I know we say it every time, with the bans. Here we are for Villa, Knock to go, probably an Azami given how strong she is on this map. What else are you thinking?
Well, last time Get a Grip played this, they also took out the Valkyrie, and that makes sense as well. A lot of places you can see with those cameras, so that's probably my guess for Get a Grip. As for Underground, yeah, we've said the Zami ban, but hey, alright, it's a Nomad ban this time. Interesting.
Oh, I do rate the Nomad ban. We love a little bit of Nomad bans. But iDrift, I mean, perfect player. Not only does he do that, but he also dabs cooler, apparently. We've got everything going on in chat right now. Knock does taken off by UG. No surprise, given that it is something that they do like to ban if it is left up. On the defensive side, we'll probably see the Azami from them. But, I mean, look, I don't know. Yeah, Zube does make a good point there. We should have picked Lumi. This is his Pro League debut, so we should have had Lumi on the thing. That is my personal apology going out there to UG. We will pick Lumi next week, even if he's not playing for the head-to-head. But still, Azami does go. So we did get some of our predictions correct. Valkyrie, obviously, a given at this point, but we go in to round number 1. Get a grip. They start on the defense.
Yeah, the only big play kind of difference here would be that Nomad, and of course it does allow a little bit more flanking options for the defense, and this map being a map of rather large size does give defenders a lot of room to breathe. It also means that you are more prone to being cut off from lots of different angles. I'm thinking the square windows, wolf windows, trophy windows, things like that. So we'll see how it plays out. I do want to see whether a gridlock will be brought in as a replacement or whether the attackers underground in this case will be focusing on their drone work as a replacement.
Look, Spud, if anything is going to be, well, evident straight away in this matchup, it's that UG are going to be aggressive. They are most other play days, or at least they start off with that. But another thing that we've talked about moments, you know, not only before this, but in recent games for these guys, is UG do take a little bit of time to get started. Now, keep in mind, Get a Grip were also the second place team behind Surf in other sort of tier 2 leagues. So they are no team to sort of be, you know, expecting not a lot from.
They have a little bit of a rough LPL Pro season, mind you. Apart from that first week, they have struggled a little bit. So, yeah, not the greatest of starts, but hey, better late than never. You do need some wins on the board, and now would be a great time to get those wins. So, you know, for both of these teams, they need to get things moving. Sooner the better, and it's just a matter of who manages to get past that warm-up phase and really start rolling into things first.
Well, too, who makes the first mistake and who capitalizes on it? You know, you start finding some significant round advantages, then it becomes interesting. But we say that, we start making our way into the building. Well, we don't. UG do, though. MML leading the charge. Lumi on the drones, putting in great work there on the supporting side of things. But UG have actually made pretty good time. They're a minute in. They are looking for their first here because River is still at large over here, and MML's just completely ignoring him. But it's okay. Lumi, for his Pro League debut, he opens it up. He finds the first. My. Someone get this man a contract.
Yeah, really good time being made by Underground here, and really good map control. Yeah, just sweeping over this side pretty much unchallenged. They haven't taken a single point of damage, and to get a grip, that's not something you want. Ducko, however, will at least find one back onto the Yana. No more nades from below, and that at least clears out some of the worry for Get a Grip about being depth charged from below.
Albeit, Lumi is still alive. We are going to keep going on about this because it is a big debut. But the Rotira comes through, the shield will be cleared over towards Maps. Ducko takes a lot of damage as well, which is not good, but JPK does find one on the high drift. So while he may be perfect in his own eyes, JPK is definitely making him work for it. He finds a second onto Jin as well. A minute remains. Ducko at 90, trying to do something here, but Lumi is not going to let him get away with too much. They walk into the site, Owen there to collect, and the 2 versus 3, this is very doable for the 2 remaining, but Owen goes down, Razor finds that kill, and Ducko on low HP in a 1 versus 3. Well, look, let's be honest, it's not looking good at all for him. The suppressed alibi as well, going to make things just that little bit harder.
Yeah, going for the plant now, and he knows his rotations are cut off. Lumi goes for the swing, does manage to get away with his life, but so does Ducko. Now he's waiting for that player to peek back out. Doesn't quite land the shot. Now his position's been given away. They know he's behind this bar, and he's got 40 seconds to get this post plant.
Oh my gosh, Lumi to G2! Put him on a roster with Pengu. Put him in with somebody. He goes huge in his first round. His PL debut, 2 kills on the supporting ace. My, UG. What a way to fire it up. Smiley in chat, deserved as well. Get a grip. They fall, unfortunately, in the first. A lot of suppressors in that round, Spud. But, I mean, hey, look, suppressor is insane at the moment. You can't really blame them. But either way, it worked out. UG, very well done.
Yeah, it seemed to me that Get a Grip gave up a little bit too much of the map to early. I mean, the meta we've seen currently favors attackers a little bit, so you do need to be contesting as a defender every single point at every single possible moment. So we get a grip to kind of just be hanging out, you know, in this trophy area, not really too interested in challenging, and then just letting River kind of die without a trade. It's not the start you want to see. You do want to see the defenders being a little bit more aggressive, measured aggression, mind you, but at least forcing Underground to kind of burn up that time and utility to force them out.
River was still there like a minute in the round though, so yes, I mean, I don't know, it was an interesting one, but Get a Grip did feed too much a little bit, I think, into the machine, especially when Lumi's on a heater. He's set for 20. You know, we said it at the start, so UG, that is good momentum to find in the early moments though, so hopefully this is the start that they've been waiting for in their previous matches, and this is where they really kick things off.
Trophy stat now, the start of our next defense. They have chosen to go from the study side as well as a player cutting off from the bottom. But that's, I do see at least one defender upstairs, up at that study, sorry, the main stairs, and JPK might actually be able to find him, but no, it just slips past him.
When he's alive and thriving right now, shotgun in hand, he opts to go for the swing, he will find it at range. Owen takes down JPK, no trade in sight here, unfortunately for UG. No one on the downstairs with him, and no one pushing in from top ground at all. I mean, there is no supporting player inside of ABG, inside of ABG at all. So there was nothing really to worry about there, albeit they've walked in, they've found a kill, and I guess they're going to walk away with it.
They do have him on lockdown, though. He won't be able to get away with his life, so pretty good. But in terms of the time wasted, it's minute 30, and there's still one more to find. However, it will be Juve to find that pick onto Ducko. So, you know, I may have spoken too soon. Really, really well played. I especially like that player on the 90 window, cutting off any rotates back. River trying to make something work, but will be forced back to site now, as we've got a minute 20 left on the clock.
Now, Jin has fallen off to this secondary shield. No one towards Master right now. However, the rotate is being made by Zuve as we speak. He's got drones from MML as well coming through to confirm anything downstairs that may be a point of contention here for UG, but it's looking like they are just going to go for that hard south side force into the site.
Taking care of the shield is another important step here. No utility wasted, nothing. Just a perfect drone, and that's a shield gone. Jin's definitely going to be in a more difficult position. iDrift, the perfect player though, the humble player as well, will be looking to challenge, but MML is already making his way pretty much to the site door. Will he be able to catch someone before he's taken down?
He spots one here on the entry. He's looking to go for it. The reload, maybe not there. Jin running low on ammunition, but it is going to be the option of the frag grenade. Opts to walk on through it. Jin wins the fight. There's no hope of a trade now that frag is there. Razor will find one, Drift to take another one down. However, Jin falls to Lumi. He's good for a third. Not taken out. No frag for the retrade. However, iDrift takes a lot of damage. Does deal some, but the diffuser going down inside the middle of the site. It's Suve from distance. He takes down what's left of the world's most humble, and UG find their second round, but they are off to a flying start.
Yeah, really, really well done. We've mentioned that both these teams take a little bit of time to get warmed up, but Underground seems to have already done their warming up outside of this game. 2 rounds in, first one a plant and a kill, and the second round they were getting the diffuser down in the process when they finally shut down Get a Grip. So really, really well executed attack. The start, a little bit of questionable, decisions, with Owen being able to get some shotgun kills for free, but they made up for it. Certainly really, really well cut off of those 2 players in the Aviator game side, and that of course meant they had that advantage going into the execute.
There was definitely some good advantages there that UG were making waves of. I mean, they found that opening kill. They had some really great positions set up. The trades weren't necessarily as quick as maybe we would have liked to have seen, but they were still there. Regardless of the time that they were taking to get those trades, they were still got. So I guess that is a little bit more than what Get a Grip are achieving right now. I mean, Owen, yeah, he was good for one at the top of main stairs, but ultimately he lost 2. So it didn't really amount to too much. But Jin wants to go for a spawn peek here. Will he be rewarded? No, unfortunately not.
Yeah, a little bit of cheeky aggression. You need anything at this point. Even a free spawn pick would certainly help. However, it's not to be as UG make their way starting from the master bedroom side again. Again, this was the same play we saw last time, and Razor's going to go back to the same position. He's going to hold that square window, drone his team in. Will River this time be able to hold on a bit longer?
30 seconds has elapsed. I mean, not really a lot, excuse me, has been achieved. They do have some bedroom control. They have great drone info on this Jaeger as well. I mean, look at this. Just no clue whatsoever that he is on cam right now. River will take down JPK, so at least they've lost one. I mean, look at this. 2 players on camera. No one knows that this drone is here. MML is going to walk up. He's going to be largely gifted a kill here if he chooses to commit to the swing. Indeed, he will. There's the first. Looks to go for a second, but won't get it. River finds a Razor on the fade out and actually makes his way back to 90. And Ducko from downstairs has taken the suppressor off. He does some good damage, and there you go. UG lose 3 in half the round and get a grip. Walk away with 4 still on the board and plenty of time to hold on to the site.
A little bit unfortunate there. The drone work was there. The pinch did come out, but unfortunately River was just too good. They did get 1 for their, for condolences, but it's not really that much of a big deal losing a Jaeger after all the utilities already gone down. However, we still have our pro player Lumi on board, so it's still doable. But yeah, certainly difficult.
If I had to guess, I would say that Lumi will clutch this and get at least 4. He's good for that. He's been rated higher. I'm just making it modest at this point. That is how good Lumi is. But they are going to opt to regroup, so I guess that they are choosing to play this one slightly smart and will make their way towards 90. Now, I think Lumi was completely blinded there, but either way, they do have ace charges to play for the 90 control. They can open up the wall, but from the drone hole, Lumi takes a considerable amount of damage. Either way, Zupe is just going to opt to try and force into the side. He's not going to get anything. Owen's there to greet him, and in doing so, 30 seconds remain. Lumi in a 1 versus 4. As I said, I rate the chances, I really do, but realistically speaking, with Owen doing things like that, yeah, look, probably not going to happen.
Yeah, a little bit surprised why they didn't open that vault wall. It usually is your point of entry, and if they had opened that and then committed that push through the bar, could have worked out, quite well. They could have gotten that pinch on that player near the pool table, and things could be different. However, it is not to be. I guess Lumi has to give everyone a bit of a chance and get a grip. At least we'll be able to find a first round. Took them time, but they've gotten on the board.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs.
Indeed, Spud. They have found their way into this matchup with point on the board, and what better way to find it than taking down a 1x PL player, 1x LPL pro in the Twitter bio player, Lumi23. He was just being nice, let's be honest. He could have won that. He didn't want to plug his mouse and keyboard in. So he was just being polite. He let them have that one. It was a charity round. And we come into round number 4 now. Get a Grip feeling a little better about themselves, but I think Lumi has probably got the burners going right now. And UG, without a doubt, take this in the next 4 rounds. I mean, this could be, 7-1 if we're not careful.
Get a Grip have got their work cut out for them, and certainly they've been cutting up a lot of this site, a lot of this extended hold into Aviator Games. I do like that shield over on 90 and Ducko being able to play with that rotation. Going to be able to do a lot of damage. Last time we did see Owen on those main stairs. He returns once again to his classic spot. But will Underground be able to cut them off as easily this time, especially with that shield giving a bit more 90 control? A Razor, of course, on that 90 window will be challenging that.
It's going to be an interesting position to clear, but one that UG shouldn't really struggle too much with. They've employed the Flores most rounds, however they have changed it out this time. So Zue clearing him out with an 8 from below. Owen, that's the second time he's died in that position, so unfortunate for him, but a well-placed explosive there from Zuve. Now, someone from Get a Grip is going to try to come over and support in the fact that he has just been fragged out, but on this upside-down rappel, we do have a Razor here. He will spot the player walking away. 90 now falls into the control of UG.
Yeah, that was really, really well played against Owen, I have to say. Being able to read that position so well, cooking that grenade perfectly, and pretty much taking him out without any risk to yourself. always something to talk about. So Underground are going to be pretty happy with that first pick. Of course, they still have another 4 to find, including the most perfect player himself. But so far, Underground off to a good start. River might have something to say about it, though.
Now, I think that Zuve knows that someone is here. River is aware that someone was there. Both players in a bit of a Mexican standoff type beat here, as the time just ticks away. And ultimately, this is all in favour of Get a Grip. I mean, they are just locking this player down, and there you go. It was Zuve who lost the patience first. River rewarded by standing fast on that angle. Now all 4 make it 3. Players left on UG are over towards the south side. Ducko collects one with the MX4 Storm as we look to go for the execute. JPK takes a whole lot of damage on this entry attempt. The flashbangs come out, but no commit here just yet from UG. They're still yet to really decide what they want to do. But Lumi, he's there. He finds one. Takes down Ducko. Sharp as always. The smoke's now starting to come out. 30 remain. Sorry, no, not a smoke. That was a very weird particle effect. But 30 seconds is all that remains here. UG need to get into this site and find some kills. Jin, however, making it more difficult. He takes out the only hope that UG had. JPK and MML, though, can still go huge.
Yeah, the positions these defenders are holding is really, really good. And that, of course, is a brilliant kill as well. Coming out from Jin, leaving just JPK. I wonder if he'll walk into that cross net. Don't do it, buddy. Don't do it.
Oh, okay. He finds one at least.
Yeah. But
so at least he's got his trade.
He did his job. He did his job. But River certainly did more than his job. A lot of kills there coming out from River. And of course, Jin as well on those Astro stairs. I was going to say that positioning was really, really good. We saw iDrift behind the closet, behind the cupboard. And we saw River on the other side behind the bomb. But Jin was a difference maker, being on those Astro stairs, being able to rotate quickly between those two sides and support wherever the push was coming from really would have made the difference. Otherwise, of course, you run the risk of having 2 players separated who can't support each other. But with Jin in play, that was certainly what won them the round.
Indeed, Jin really a difference maker there, but we've seen him do it so many times. I mean, he gets into positions that arguably you just wouldn't expect. I mean, who is going to be crouching in the single window on the master bedroom where the bathroom door is, watching the coat walk in? Jin is, apparently. And it's so hard to read into a playstyle like that without prior information, which UG just didn't have the time to provide for themselves. So no real surprise that he was rewarded with that kill. And at the end of the day, that is why Jin is a difference maker on this team. He finds those positions of interest and plays to that advantage. Out of the ordinary, some could say. UG just, again, not expecting it. So well off to Jin. 2 big kills and ultimately another round for Get a Grip.
Onto this tertiary site now. The kitchen dining site is the usual choice of tertiary site, so no surprises there. And no surprises as well from Underground's approach. They're going to be approaching horizontally with, I think, a bit of no vertical presence, which I'm not too sure about. I think you do need to take that vertical control, especially in the master bedroom. There's lots of angles you can be playing. But hey, we'll see how it goes. Maybe they will opt to do that a bit later, but so far, seems to be approached through the pottery piano area.
Red Hall, obviously a point of contest as well here. They need to lock down those rotates. Given that Kitchen is one of the more difficult sites to attack, we do have River on the front line here. Oh my, threads the needle. JPK taken out. Unfortunately, not a kill you want to lose. He does spot a second. He lines it up and knocks it down. Zuve to fall. Unfortunately, that's not the start that UG were hoping for.
Yeah, we've seen some really good information and coordination from UG, but that just seemed a little bit puzzling. They were kind of just peeking him one by one, and River was able to get away with it for free. Eraser taken down as well. He has been a difference maker in so many plays. He does at least get picked up, but Ducko on the prone here will catch the best player in the world. Lumi does find one for his trade, so hey, it's not Lumi's fault at this point. But all up to MML now. Yeah.
He's got 2 in this round. Lumi is good for everything. You cannot put anything on him right now. He got another from beyond the grave. This guy is that good. He doesn't even need to be alive to kill people. I mean, my, where is his contract? Someone get him a contract. Put him on Rogue, put him on G2, put him on TSM because he can fill any shoes. I mean, 3 in the round for him. No one I mean, he basically single-handedly has wiped out Get a Grip here, unless MML can find the other two. Lumi has arguably done it all, but through the wall, I think. River literally just 180 flicked. Okay, sorry, I thought he was looking the wrong way. No, yeah, they go through the wall. Eyes and everything. He didn't even know. But I guess you take those when you can get them, and River, a good round from him as well. 3 massive kills. But I will argue that Lumi's probably a little bit more stylish.
Yeah, this is what you get for trying to troll Owen. This is your punishment.
Come on, Owen.
Yeah. But hey, Lumi actually really put it into a position that was quite winnable. Had MML gotten that kill onto the ballsy, it would have been a 1v1. It was actually pretty close there, just a little bit unfortunate he missed out on those kills. So really well played overall from both teams, and Get a Grip certainly started off a bit slow but have picked up the pace. River as well didn't do so well in that very first round, got taken out without any kills, but now he's got 7 for himself. So really well done from him.
Yeah, overall good showings from both sides, but Get a Grip do pull away with the lead at the moment, at this point in time. I mean, it's only 1 round, Spud, so it's not really too much to read into. But at the same time, this map, you could argue, slightly attacker-sided, given the current meta of things, but the synchronized reinforcement would possibly indicate that Get a Grip are just on that slightly different level.
Yeah, Underground, they did have a really good start, but they seem to be struggling a little bit here. May have let their foot off the gas. I mean, we saw a couple of instances where River was kind of gifted free picks. Underground didn't have the same information and the active drone work and the pinches that they were doing before. So I would like to see a return to that. They did execute them really, really well. And they're going to return to the same strategy. It's going to back from the master bedroom, 1 at that square window to cut off any players. Let's hope, for their sake, it goes a little bit better this time.
And saying that as well, Lumi, 7-3. He is currently the top of the leaderboard, and with Jin taking down MML, Lumi's going to have to find a whole lot more than 7 kills, because UG need it right now. They need a hero. And Lumi is just... He is putting in the work right now for his team. He's doing absolutely insane. Eraser will be taken out by Jin. Zuve to find River, though. So I guess there are some good trades coming out here.
Yeah, Jin's holding a really, really strong position here on the red stairs with a shield. Just unfortunate there's no ADS to protect him, but he doesn't need it. So far, the SMG-11 has claimed 2 victims at long range, and at close range, Jin has the shotgun to work with. iDrift as well to support now definitely have read into Underground's approach. They know they're going to take that trophy statue area, and they've dedicated a lot more players and utility to that spot, and certainly they're getting the rewards for it.
Yeah, they've been doing really well. Unfortunately, the Nitro there for Jin not quite making its way through the door. The ping is there, but it's a little bit late. And unfortunately, it will not connect. He's looking for the player outside of Wolf window. This is going to be insane if he can hit this shot here. He knows that someone's there. Oh, wait, sorry, that's not the window. My eyesight is deteriorating day in, day out. But maybe if I have some more biocode lab, it won't be, regardless of. He will make it back to the site. Underground again, once more, are going to have their work cut out for them.
Yeah, 50 seconds to go. Still a lot of utility to clear, and, you know, not that much to work with here for Underground. They've got 2 more Rotero drones, 2 more ace charges. That's about it. You know, Jin, of course, still alive. Owen's still alive with also the shotgun and the smoke canisters. It's going to make this last second push from Underground really, really difficult. It's all going to come down to those gunfights.
The burn starts to come out, flashbangs as well. Jin spots 1, the shotgun there to collect, takes down Zuve. Lumi and JPK now the last alive. Looking to make something happen here as they walk into the site, but Owen's there to greet for the first. The shotgun in hand, not quite quick enough for the second, but it's iDrift to clean up. Get a Grip, they take the lead, and ultimately the half. The spray's going everywhere, but he makes it work. And we go on to the split. Get a Grip go up, though, 4-2. And unfortunately for UG, they had a great start. But as you said, the momentum has definitely fallen out of their step.
Yeah, well, Get a Grip are known for making huge comebacks on Villa. Last time, of course, for those of you who remember, the very first week, I think they were like 6-1 down against Circular Spheres, and then a couple of rounds here and there, and, you know, of course, Get a Grip ended up winning that. So, you know, hasn't been the same dramatic lead that we've seen coming out from Underground, only 2 rounds, but still, Get a Grip has certainly picked things back up, and Underground do seem to be struggling a little bit. I think those attacks were getting read a little bit too well by Get a Grip. So now onto defense. Let's hope that fresh slate will help them out.
Fresh slates indeed, Spud. I mean, this is arguably where the turnaround can be made for both sides. Underground are either going to put the burners on and go huge, or Get a Grip are just going to storm on through the building. I mean, River is on a heater right now. Owen, Jin, both doing big things. Stucco as well. Drift supporting in the back. Look, everything is going in favour of Get a Grip at the moment. 2 big rounds that they needed, so hopefully UG can consolidate and at least bring it back to a 4-4.
Let's see how this round plays out, and it looks like Get a Grip are going to opt for that master bedroom take as well. Very, very similar to Underground. Of course, last time Underground did not have as much success as they would have liked to. So, on defense, can they put up the same kind of performance? River, of course, once again from this square window, looking to deny any players pushing in, but MML will be forced to fall back early on, and that's good territory gained by Get a Grip.
Unfortunately, not finding that opening kill. Does get a little bit of damage onto MML, but that's arguably all that Jin was able to find on the opening moments here. Is Get a Grip do take pretty much complete control of the north side. Everyone from UG has fallen off, back towards AVG, back towards Red. So they are pretty much taking the loss of ground and just waiting things out, which is arguably all they really need to be doing. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think they have the time to be a little bit patient here and not go for things too hastily. They're doing all their, all their due diligence. They're getting the drones out. And Erase is going to be the next point of contact, of course, with those ADS stacked on red stairs. It's going to be a big utility dump to get rid of him. But JPK will be the first to find a kill onto Owen of all people. And that certainly opens things up for UG. A second one from Eraser from that power position. Things are looking a lot better here.
Red stairs is going to be difficult to clear. Jin goes down to some unknown explosive, whether or not it's an impact or not. Regardless, Ducko now trying to make something work as he forces his way towards 90. Will be spotted out. The impact is there. It's coming out. All the utility that is available for UG right now is just being dumped towards that player. But Ducko ultimately survives and is going to opt to go for some explosive utility of his own. Sorry, flash utilities. He pushes on towards 90. Will be spotted, but can't quite find the shots. He will connect on the Lumi, who doesn't quite make it away.
Well, it's not too bad. His utility has already been placed. He's done the damage. Zuve on low HP could put this into a 2v3, and that certainly could make things a lot different. Ducko, however, also low on HP, and with no hard breach remaining, they're going to be forced to go through those 2 doors. Those 2 doors are being held by a lot of crossfires. It's going to be very, very difficult. As long as nobody makes a poor move, they should be okay.
Ooh.
Unless, you do that, and then Sube dies, and then it's a 2v2.
Ducko makes something work. Drift will make his way round to the skull door.
15 seconds left.
Has got one player on the shield here. They know that someone's around. They are waiting for the peak. Unfortunately, shots don't quite connect, and Zuve is good for both. The Org mows down what's left of Get a Grip. And UG, they find their first round on the defense. AVG, a really good side to kick things off, but now they have to go to secondary, which is going to be trophy stat. Hopefully they can make it the 4-4, because if they can, hopes are definitely up for them. But Get a Grip, that was their first attacking round, so they are still sort of just feeling the vibes out right now, but still a good round from them.
Yeah, I really like the positions that Underground played, especially that red stair hold. It's often called the Shaiko position because you put Shaiko there with some ADSs and he's pretty much unkillable. And Underground made really, really good use of that. Eraser got 1 for his troubles. I think he also managed to stall that a lot of time before falling back and getting away scot-free. So really, really well played. Get a Grip, unfortunately, on the receiving end of that does mean that they do drop a round. It's not all over yet. They are a round up, but a round up isn't a huge difference, and Underground certainly know that as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, Underground, that was a pretty big round for them. They needed that to sort of put them back in the driving seat a little bit. Yes, they are still 1 round down, but it doesn't mean too much as long as they can keep that up, because as I said at the beginning of the match, I mean, this team is one that struggles with continuity of momentum. So hopefully UG can rectify that in this matchup.
Moving on to that secondary site now, the trophy and statue site, and of course we have that extension into AVG. Lumi, the one playing in that bar area, supported by JBK. However, Jin will go on a bit of a tangent by himself. Ducko finding our star player as well right at the start. An unfortunate start, and with Jin going for the grenades, JBK could get caught out here.
If he is caught out, it's going to hurt a lot for UG. I mean, they've lost Lumi already. Top fragger has been taken away. So Zuve is going to have to step up. The next best thing at the moment in terms of kills. But Get a Grip, happy to open it up with a frag like that. They're going to clear out some good utility as well. The shield on Bricks has been taken out. The wall also being opened up. I mean, a lot of avenues for Get a Grip just became evident.
Yeah, 2 minutes and that triple wall has already been opened. They've got the Aviator Games control. This is really, really good progress, and that's going to put a lot of pressure onto the defenders, especially with all this utility clearing as well. Underground don't really have that many positions to hide in anymore. It's going to be up to Zuve to make big plays like this, possibly to turn things around.
Inside of the master bedroom, if you can go huge here, it's going to be an absolutely massive difference maker for UG. He has been spotted though. He has been droned. No one on the window behind him, funnily enough, to flank him out, but he's expecting it. River caught out. The vault in. No, not the vault into the closet. Player outside trying to look through the drone hole to see if he can find an angle, but right now the damage has been done so far by Zuve. He is being called out as well. He's been seen on the rotate over towards walk-in, and he's somehow still alive.
He's playing for his life right now. I don't think he even cares about getting kills. He just wants to stay alive, hold off these attackers for as long as possible, because that is time stalled. I mean, we're going down to 50 seconds now, but Ducko's already made it into sight. He's got the closet, he's got Zuve, he's got 4.
He's on for 4! Can he find a 5th? He's hunting, he's got no bullets! The pistol in hand! He needs to make it happen, but MML with the shotgun, he's found 2. Ducko, he needs to lock it out. He's got 30 seconds to play. The bomb needs to go down as well. The diffuser hasn't been retrieved. It's just a Mexican standoff. Flashbang comes out. Ducko, he locks it down with all 5. But my, the end. I mean, he built up 4 so quickly in there. He did find the 5th, but the 5th, let's be honest, the momentum was gone. It was more of a meme at the end. But the ace for Ducko, you got to be happy with that. Get a Grip finding around for themselves, and they regain that 2-round lead.
As a really explosive entry, pushed right into the site where he needed to be. That closet, of course, was keeping out the attack, and they needed to take that position. He cleared that out, swung around another 2. I didn't even have time to pass it off to you because he was just killing everyone. So, and then of course he had to take a break, and he whipped out his pistol and was kind of trading shots back and forth.
Hey, look, it worked. It worked. So, you can't really say too much other than Ducko, well in, son. You've done well. He's hopefully got his clip. And Spud, at the end of the day, the handoff is not what we're here for. We're here for the siege. And some great siege that was there from Get a Grip. They've managed to, I don't know, they just found an explosive moment. They made it work. Well, I say they, it was literally all just Ducko that round. But regardless of that factor, Get a Grip lead 2, 5-3. We're 2 off a possible victory here, and I mean 2-7-4s could definitely be on the card.
Yeah, it does seem the defense here are giving up territory a little bit too early, and we did mention in that previous map that you do need to be contesting the attack as much as possible. We saw Get a Grip do that when they were defending. They were contesting that trophy statue area, they were contesting Aviator Games, but Underground are really, really falling back early, and I don't know if that's a confidence thing or it's part of the plan. They're planning just to waste a little bit of time and then hunker down, but just doesn't seem to be working. I would like them to kind of stick around a little bit longer and maybe get some kills on the way out.
Yeah, I mean, UG have had, I mean, their first defensive round was very good. But yeah, I mean, as you mentioned, they have sort of struggled to find a lot of these kills. They are being spotted out and pushed away with a lot of good utility usage here from Get a Grip, which is exactly what we're seeing once more here again. Top of main stairs completely cleared out. That defender has to push away or else they forfeit their life. So Get a Grip once more, taking ground and making it work.
2 minutes remaining, and there we go. Underground have fallen back. It's every single time. Both all the defensive rounds, right? 2 minutes, and Underground have already fallen back. I'm not sure there's much they can do, though. Certainly, that player, Eraser, I think, at the top of main stairs, he was being pressured. He knew his time was up. The grenade was coming through, so he got away with his life. Is that enough time, though? It all comes down to whether they can hold off the remaining execute in this last minute and a half.
Yeah, minute's not a lot of time, Spud, especially with both teams not having a single kill on the board. So, Get a Grip are going to have to at least find something here. Top red is still a point of contention, but there you go. Jin opens the door. He takes down the first, Eraser to fall. He gets a second as well. Doesn't opt to run into the side. He's looking for more, but Spud, a minute is all that's left. He is finally traded out by UG.
Does just get away with his life, so Ducko will go for the pickup here. There is a bit of time to work with, but he's going to go for the long rotate. That gas canister just misses out. Owen now looking for a push, but a little bit mistimed. No one there to support him. JPK will be able to take him out. Now he's all the way up and landing with the ADS is not a position you'd expect him to be.
That's huge.
Ducko and Jin, that's a triple. River, it's all up to you.
What's happened here? River's good for one. The player not paying attention at all inside of bricks, but they've rotated away. They don't even have diffuser control. MML spotted out. A lot of damage taken. Will be spotted again. Can't quite connect it. River does find the kill from the player inside of the side. It's all up to JPK. 10 seconds is all that's left. He does have 3 flashbangs to play with. He doesn't check hard left, and JPK with 4 in the round. He makes it work for UG. Unfortunately for River, he was so close, but he just didn't check close right. And JPK makes all the difference. That is a Ducko moment, but instead it goes in favor of Underground.
They got very, very close there, River. He's on a roll, seriously, this game. He's gotten so many kills, but fortunately he couldn't get the one last kill he needed. Certainly, though, really well played, taking it down from a 1v3 to a 1v1, and at that point, it was, it was anyone's game. Still, well done to JPK, especially with that aggressive push-up into landing. Not a position you expect people to be, and he got the rewards for it. 3k and closing out the round means Underground are now only a single round behind Get a Grip once again. But if Get a Grip managed to get this one, then not only are they 2 rounds up, they are also on match point. That leaves no more room for Underground to make mistakes.
Yeah, I mean, with Get a Grip being as close as they are from being on match point, Spud, things are going to be difficult. I mean, well, I say difficult rather. Should I say more tight? Because Get a Grip, yes, they only need 2, but very similarly, Underground only need 1 to equalize and then 2 of their own to walk away with it. So this is going to be a very tight situation.
He's on a bit of a journey here. He's gone underneath and chooses just to hang out downstairs. I think he's going to rotate back up Astro on a late flank maybe and catch these players coming in from the master bedroom, because that does seem to be the preferred route for both these teams. Lumi and JPK will be holding from trophy and stat. Lumi, the first to find a kill, and on to Ducko of all people. Really, really good opening, and that, just like that, they're gone.
Yeah, don't even blame him. Find the kill, disappear. They now need to spend the next 20-30 seconds re-droning, dedicating if everything is clear. But I mean, that is just perfect mechanics there from UG. Find a kill, disappear on your own, you've done your job, you've found your opener, and walk away with the advantage. And indeed, they have done just that. Gridlock has been employed here by Get a Grip. But look, losing that kill early on, especially it being Ducko, is going to hurt a lot.
Yeah, Eraser now back in his classic position. He's going to be on those red stairs. That walled square window, as we just saw on by our observer, is soft, so that does leave an avenue for that square window player to perhaps shoot him. But still, it's going to be difficult without that direct line of sight. Jin, however, is close by. He's looking to challenge this player in piano. He knows there's one there. Preps a grenade, but might actually be caught out on the way on this throw. JPK playing a dangerous game.
Jin does spot him, and he does do some good damage, but he will find the player on red, so Eraser not going to be an issue this round, as Jin has taken that position for his team. JPK has taken a lot of damage as well, but in saying that, I mean, 90 opened up. It is relatively soft here. Wait, 90 soft. That's the side as well. That's interesting, but Drift goes down through the smoke. It's the impact from Zube to confirm. Unfortunately, they don't get the confirmation. But there you go. That wall being soft allows Owen to get the trade.
Okay, a little bit questionable there, but still not too bad. It is 3-3 JPK on low health though, but you've got Lumi alive, so all is not lost yet. 40 seconds now for the attackers to make an execute onto site, and they're going to go for it now. Jin leading the charge as always. He's already found one, I think. One for sure, could be a second, and this is where things get interesting, but River shut down now by JPK.
River, unfortunate that he was taken out on an angle like that. I mean, committing to the swing, I think he was going to try and jump out a zombie window. I don't know what the call was there or how that happened, but yeah, he got schlepped by JPK. Now in a 2 versus 3, Jin takes a lot of damage. Owen needs to come huge through study here. Indeed, he will. Finds one. Jin goes down though. On the angle, Owen now left to find 2 with the DMR in hand. The pre-fire's there, but the time is not. Underground equalize and Get a Grip lose the round advantage that they had. Spud, this is looking very similar to a few other games that we've seen. Underground possibly making a comeback here.
That was a really good attempt there by Owen going for that flank. It certainly almost worked. Unfortunately, it was just a moment too late. JPK was allowed to take down that player entering through that vault, through that aviator door next to the vault, and that, of course, sealed the deal for Underground. They weren't able to pick up the diffuser again. Ultimately, the last 2 players just had to keep their heads down, and Owen wasn't able to do anything about it. So, really, really well played from Underground. Owen, though, certainly hats off to you for that bold move there, but unfortunately not enough, and Underground do equalize.
Look, either way, Spud, the way that this is panning out, I think we may definitely well be in for an overtime matchup here. UG are putting the work in, but so we Get a Grip. I mean, it is very back and forth siege right now, and in saying that, I mean, we've had great performances. We've got River, we've got Darko, we've got Jin. But similarly, we've got Zuve, Lumi, JPK. So lots of good things, but definitely leaning more towards that overtime side.
And of course, if Underground do go on to win this, then, you know, it all depends on how far behind they are Surf Esports. I don't think if Get a Grip loses, they have much hope afterwards of making it to playoffs. Underground, certainly, though, if they win this, still a chance. JPK, however, will not have a chance to make any impact this round. Does get taken out by a well-placed grenade from Jin. We've seen a lot of those from him, and yeah, bruh is certainly how I'd put it.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. That's top fragger down as well. So JPK taken out. And just walked in there. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Great nade from Jin, though. And I'd imagine some good information relayed as well from the remainder of Get a Grip. But they do still have one player upstairs. MML is going to be spotted out and will choose to disappear straight away. And you can't really bother. You can't really say too much about that. Does have to break down a castle to get back into the site. And I'd imagine Zuve will just go put that one straight back up. Indeed, he will. And there you go. Completely gone. Now, the one thing I do want to highlight here, Spud, no pulse on the board for UG.
Yeah, that's going to make getting that vertical information a lot more difficult, but certainly it won't be any difficult for River, who is now dead. Really, really good kill there from MML. Took some time, but they did get that trade back eventually. But still, as we said, 2 minutes, they've already given up that top floor, and there's so much vertical play here that can be done. Having said that, Sledge is off the board, so I guess that's a bit of a consolation prize.
Yeah, losing River is definitely going to hurt. They do still have Ducko on the breaching charges, and the IQ was bought, you know, assuming that there was going to be a pulse here from UG, but there just isn't. So I guess having the breaching charge is going to be a good backup, but at the same time, not having a pulse is definitely going to hurt them, and they don't actually even have any nitros or smokes for denial. So things are going to get interesting when it comes to the execute.
Yeah, both these teams kind of missing some key ingredients, but certainly I think they'll be able to make up for it based on how well they have been playing. We just have to see how this plays out. Will Get a Grip be able to find those vertical angles they need, and will Underground be able to get the information they need to really put a dent into Get a Grip's attack?
Oh, here comes Jin. This could be massive. He walks into China. He's got a player behind him. He will take the one inside of the side out. Taken out from behind, though. Lumi there for the trade. Zuve to take down iDrift. One above does have to drop in to play the trade. But once more, these angles opened up. Not the greatest in favor of the attackers here, because it does open them up to so much. Ducko spots one, but it doesn't matter. Underground, they find 2 kills, and they are now the ones on match point. They hold all the power. Again, I don't know what those holes were opened up. What was... yeah. Footholes inside a laundry doesn't help you, guys. So I guess they learned that the hard way. But UG, they're happy. They find match point. Lumi, arguably the difference here.
Yeah, the console, I think, also made a huge difference there, being in that laundry door. If that wasn't there, then, okay, sure, they can quickly
100%.
move past those holes. But having that there, you're stuck in front of those holes. I have no idea why they chose to do that. I think they got some kills off of it, but kills are not enough. And it's not going to be enough because Underground are 6-5 now. They have gained the lead back, and now they're on match point. Get a Grip cannot be making mistakes like that at this point if they want to win.
Yeah, very, very high possibility of overtime here. Very high possibility. But at the same time, if Underground can continue that performance, they have got a very high chance of walking away with this right now. It's one round. That's all they need. They play it smart, they play it passive, and Get a Grip just play into that. This could easily be a UG game, and they could be locking out one of those top 4 spots themselves.
Yeah, their kind of record on this side, this trophy stat side of this match has been 50-50. Get a Grip were able to win the first attack there, but following up with that, Underground were able to win, and that was off JPK's flank up into landing. So a little less consistent than I would have had liked, but certainly a secondary site as opposed to a tertiary site still gives them strong options to work with, especially if they can burn out a little bit more time to Get a Grip, apart from that usual first minute. I think they really have a chance.
Everything has been going smoothly so far for both sides in this round. No kills traded out. Nothing really lost yet either. I mean, some ground taken by Jin, but that's about it. There's a heavy roam on this top floor, and Jin, again, is looking to get aggressive, maybe find one here with a vert nade, possibly open the door for his team. There's 2 right above him. I'd imagine this will be relayed, but UG holding steadfast in this position upstairs.
First shield does go, so that's going to be a bit of utility cleared and a bit less of a power position for Underground, but they have read that there's no roam clear this time, which is very, very interesting. Usually it's always from the study side, and they do seem to lose plays early on. Wow, he's actually just going to put the shield back. That's pretty good. And with MML getting that pick early on, things are really looking... Oh my goodness, he just walked back up and put the shield back.
The cojones on this man. He genuinely just walked up to the wall and said, here you go, here's another one. Flores is still up here. I mean, iDrift is still on the board as Flores, but as I say that, MML is good for 2. He takes him down, no refrag. Get a Grip. They're just throwing themselves in the building at this point, hoping they can do something. Jin has made his way to Astro Stairs. MML looking for another. He's going to get it indeed. He's on for 3. Get a Grip just walking into this man's crosshair, feeding the beast right now. Ducko does find one onto JPK. MML doesn't get the 4th. River gets taken out. Ducko's on an absolute heater once more. He's good for 2. Lumi and Zube, though, the last 2 alive. The impact does some good damage. They will clear out some of that utility, but the pre-fire's there. River takes down Zube. It's now all up to the ranked demon himself, Lumi, the man that's come in and made a difference so far in this game. He needs to find 2. He spots the first. He takes down River. Ducko on half HP. The position known. Lumi given away, but Ducko still lives. Has to get this diffuser on the floor. 20 seconds left to play with. Lumi has to get aggressive. He opts for the long rotate. He's playing the long game here. He gets off the bomb. He walks into the side. Lumi goes insane on his PL debut. This man makes the difference. He finds all the kills he needs. The super sub, the coach. Get this man a contract, raise his pay, put him on a plaque, and induct him into the Hall of Fame. He's come in for his first game, and this might as well be his last because he doesn't need to do anything else after that. What a showing. Lumi comes in huge at the end with a 1 versus 2, and he sends Get a Grip home. My Lumi, what a showing from him. That is absolutely insane. UG walk away with Villa 7-5 on the bat. Get a grip. That's got to hurt.
Yeah, Get a Grip, of course, did have a good record on this. They beat Circular Spheres, now Surf Esports, who we just watched in the first match, play really, really dominant. But no, Underground will be the ones to take that away, and in what a way to do it as well. That last round was beautiful. 3K coming out from MML. He did make up for some of his, the slower performance earlier on. 3K, and then of course, even though River was able to clutch things out almost, of course, Lumi steps up to save the day, and we do find Underground taking the win.
Can I just say, MML was our highlighted player today, and definitely proved why in that sort of last round there. 3 kills from him on the smoke, supporting character, just going huge, really going huge there for UG. And I mean, a lot of players doing a lot of things as well. JPK in the mix. I mean, Zuve, he had his moments, but arguably everything else was not worth it. Lumi came in on his debut to LPL Pro for this team, the super sub / coach / player. I mean, my, what an insane day from him, Spud. And overall, I mean, so far, what are your thoughts been for the evening?
I mean, despite that loss there at the end, Get a Grip did play really, really well. I mean, if we consider without the whole Lumi thing in that last round, Get a Grip were able to take it, from a 2v4 all the way down to they turned it into a 2v2 or 2v1 at one point. So really, that was pretty well done. And I really was about to call it for Get a Grip. Of course, Lumi there, he did step up and was able to take that away. So well played from both teams. It was really, really close, back and forth. Underground started off in the lead. Get a Grip made that comeback. And then, of course, Underground managed to finally catch up and close it out.
The question now is, does the leaderboard change? We do have it here on our screens to come. Spud, not really a surprise at all. It hasn't moved too much. However, not quite sure. Shoot all the way up to the top based on round difference. And Team 7, unfortunately, not quite there for them. But regardless, they're second. I think that that makes some sense. They got the forfeit tonight. So
hang on, Surf Esports and Underground. Surf Esports is a +4. Underground is a +5.
Okay, so Underground might be on 4. Surf might be down to 5th. We might have a slight maths error there. We don't do maths. We only talk about it. But at the end of the day, it let's be honest, it hasn't moved too much. Other than not quite sure, move up a little bit. It has not moved too much. It's relatively similar, but it might move next week. And next week, hopefully, we'll have more than 2 games in the night. But there we go at the bottom of your screen right now. Team 7 take on UG. That will be a good game. Get a Grip versus F2 and Kraken versus Surf. Spud, we have some absolutely amazing games next week. Would you not agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Team 7 versus Underground. Underground have already beaten out Kraken top dogs, so Team 7 could be next on their list. And given how they've been playing, I certainly think it is very, very much doable. Being able to do that certainly cements their spot in that top 4. And of course, we've got some other great games. Kraken, I believe, against Not Quite Sure, will also be a real barn burner.
We also have the winner of our giveaway tonight. The person walking away with the LPL R6 prize pack is going to be iDrift. The best player is himself, and his reason is because he is perfect. I guess it was flawless logic, and the people over at LPL agreed with him, and you can't really blame them. I mean, bang a tweet, and he has acquired the LPL R6 pack, so good for you, man. Well done. Congratulations. Overall, Spud, I mean, tonight has been great. Finally, before we leave, I mean, how would you wrap it up?
Look, I think it's been 2 really, really exciting matches. We've seen Surf Esports come in from what was supposed to be an underdog game. They've taken it to Team 7 and they've won. And then, of course, Underground, everyone's favorite team, has also made it. They've done it. I think they might actually be in the playoffs. I think it's just by a single round difference. We'll have to confirm. So Surf Esports, despite their performance, might actually be on shaky ground. So next week is going to be all the more important for both these teams. Certainly really looking forward to it.
Well, we will be back same time, same place, same people next week. Make sure you don't miss it. Thanks to our sponsors, Roccat and Biocode Lab. We've had an absolute heater here tonight on the LPL Pro desk, and we hope that you will join us once more next week. Other than that, that's all from us here tonight. So enjoy the rest of your evenings. Have a good one. We'll see you later. Good night.
Good night.